From the YBA Phoenix Fitness 24/7 basketball facility in Rocklin, California, it's Coach's Rise time with Coach C. Collins.
Get it started. 3, 2, 1.
Coach's Rise time.
Yep, I'm Coach C. Collins. Welcome to Coach's Rise Time, where I give you my individual perspective on an aspect of AAU basketball or high school basketball. I know it's been quite a while since I've dropped an episode. Please check out the main show if you get an opportunity about that live podcast. That's what my guy, Coach MJ and Ty, our camera guy. It's been a while since we dropped everything. I know it's been a while since I've literally been able to say anything. I do apologize for those who actually listen and support. July's been crazy, and I'm going to break a lot about that down. I think what needs to be discussed is what is the live period? You know, what is the NCAA live period? I've talked about it on previous episodes. It's the culmination of what AAU basketball is supposed to be. I want to kind of give my perspective, give some tips, give some insight. Also try to help those out there who might be stepping into it for the first time, because maybe some of your kids have just become freshmen, and the reality is AAU basketball in the high school spectrum is no longer about development. The development stage is pretty much over. There's elements of development within it, but the biggest thing is you're trying to prepare them for their junior year to potentially be on the biggest stage in order to get a college scholarship, which ultimately leads to a discount on their education. For some, it could be life-changing, right? I got a college education, and it's helped me to evolve into the man I am today, and I'm 38 years old. And for some, that could be it can build generational wealth. So it's a big deal, and we need to get a good grasp and understanding of the live period. But before we get to that, I would love to talk about our sponsors. First one, of course, Dr. Dish, best shooting machine on the market. Great. They have great models, great usage for all levels, right? You can start as early, to me, in my opinion, as 4th grade. They have the home version, the All-Star, the Rebel, various prices. Please go ahead and hit them up. Let them know about that life for Coach's Rise Time sent you. Let them know Coach C. Collins sent you, and they'll hopefully hook you up with a nice discount. But it's the best shooting machine on the market, in my opinion, and you don't go wrong with them. Also, if you're looking for tournaments in the Sacramento area, West Coast Takeover, ran by DeMario Belk, go ahead and hit him up. westcoasttakeover.com. I'll put all the links in the description. As always, you can find them and let him know Chris sent you. He'll hook you up with a discount as well. If you're also looking for tournaments in the Rocklin area, go to Hardwood Palace. They run their Xtreme tournament events. They also have the Hardwood Hoops Rec League. It's a good, well-run organization. Hit up Steve or Grant. They'll direct you to a great atmosphere and a great tournament where you can get some good competition and you can watch your team evolve and grow. I also want to introduce a new supporter of the podcast, the family is a good friend of myself, but they do great work, and I just happen to coach their son as well. But Zennify is a digital marketing program that helps those to evolve their business. At Zennify, we know how to focus, build, and balance. Through clear vision and purpose, they can solve even the most complex technical and business issues. As for your trusted advisor, they'll transform and organize, inspire productivity and innovation throughout your company. So go ahead and give them a call. Shoot them a text. Again, their emails, all these websites will be in the description of the show. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to our last sponsor, West Coast Legends. They help create some of our gear package for YBA, help with embroidery, sublimation, screen printing, graphic and local design, banners and flyers, apparel for family gatherings, work events, and all sporting events. Anything you want to put on apparel, they got you. I will also set the link up for their website, their Instagram. Go ahead and shoot them a call. Usually they have a quicker turnaround from 7 to 10 days. And, of course, as always, it helps for any of those AAU programs starting up to have someone you could depend on. Hit up Danae or Marcus, and they will help you right away with getting your design from your mind onto the canvas. But with all that being said, let's move forward talking about the July live period. What is it? What does it entail? How does it work? Let's try to get some of these things out here. Let's move on. So, with that being said, I want you all to understand that the live period is, in essence, the final. It's the final hurrah for the boys or girls as an AAU coach. Let's break down what it is. So the NCAA has rules, and this is mainly applies for Division I and II. We'll talk about III. We'll talk about NAIA and JUCO in a minute. Legally, the NCAA Division I and typically Division IIs, and that can vary, have a certain set of weeks they are allowed to physically see the athletes, potentially interact with the AAU coaches, and scout out some of the talent they're looking for. It's the culmination of what every kid aspires to have. Now, there's a whole bunch of series. This is why the shoe circuits are relevant, like the EYBL circuit, the Adidas Gauntlet, and of course the Under Armour circuit. Those three major shoe brand companies run their own tournaments, basically, and they try to take, pretty successfully, the top kids in the country. If they're on the ESPN 100, more than likely ESPN 100 top rankings, just to make it clear, it is very likely they will be on one of those shoe circuits. Most AAU programs aspire to become a shoe circuit program. They get access to gear, they get access to flights, they get access to finance, and essentially Nike, Under Armour, Adidas hand a check and say, hey, man, here's $500,000. We want you to compile one of the best high school teams you can in the nation. We want you to go to these events, and we want to see all of you guys compete. What I try to describe to parents, and if you parents are listening and aspiring kids aspiring to this, live period events, think of it as a job fair. Essentially, it's a job fair, and the games are your interview. It's not so much about winning losses, because I talk to a lot of college coaches, straight up, like, not bullshitting you, because I'm not about that. They tell me a lot in terms of they know if a kid is talented within 3 to 5 plays. They want to see what else you can do. They typically check box. I was talking to Coach Rob. Shout out to Coach Rob from East LA, the Huskies, the one that was on the Netflix show, Last Chance U. Me and him had a good opportunity to talk when I was in LA at the West Coast Elite event. And shout out to those guys, because West Coast Elite definitely they put me on their site. They respect what I do as a coach at YBA, and we overall have a really solid relationship with them. I try to have a solid relationship with anybody, but to be honest with you, everybody doesn't necessarily have a solid relationship with me. So shout out to West Coast Elite. So moving forward from that, the biggest thing that you have to understand is with these shoe circuit events and these ESPN Top 100s and all these moving parts, the overall basis is the colleges go where the top kids go. And you as an independent AAU program want to go where the top colleges go to give your kids a fighting shot. Talking to a lot of these college coaches, and, I can go name after name after name, college after college after college, but that's not really what I'm here to do. I'm here to kind of inform you all how it all works for those who might not be privy to this information. When these colleges look at the kids, they're very aware of the level in which they're looking for, the type of work ethic they're looking for, the body language, things like that. So coaches, my advice, don't let your kids think it's all about scoring. Don't let your kids think it's even all about winning. The only incentive you want to win is so you have more opportunities to play in front of college coaches. And, of course, it's great to come home with the trophy in first place and things like that. No knock on that. I won the Bigfoot National Tournament in 2017 and 2014, and I don't take that away from anything. Me and Coach Adam, shout out to Coach Adam. I don't want to just say it was me. It was, bulk of it I think was Coach Adam. But even without those wins, the wins weren't the reason why the kids got recruited or got looked at. Some of those kids went D1 and D2 and whatnot. It was the opportunities to play in front of these college coaches. The NCAA live period has typically, at least on the boys' side, because the girls are different, so I'm going to speak on the men's side for this episode. Maybe I'll do another one speaking about the girls or the women's and have Coach Ted here as a guest. There's usually one weekend in April, typically 2 to 3 weeks in July, so 4 total. Sometimes it could be 5 when the scandal with the Adidas and the college coaches and people taking money, and that's a whole nother thing. Please go look at Google and look it up. When all that went down, they actually took some live period weekends away. It was kind of a knee-jerk reaction, but they took it away because they didn't like all the money being shifted and people being found out, coaches being fired, and we're talking D1 coaches getting fired. So the live period weekend is a legal sanctioned opportunity for these kids to play in front of in front of all level collegiate coaches. And this is mainly for NCAA Division I, Division II. For NCAA Division III, NAI, and JUCO, their live period is pretty much all year. They can recruit, they can look, they can talk pretty much anytime they want. The biggest advice I give to you parents and kids out there, for those who listen, do unofficial visits. Unofficial visits are when you go to the school. When you go to the school, email the assistant coaches, email the entire coaching staff, let them know the weekend or day you're coming. Let them do a tour of campus. Also, definitely consider, if possible, definitely consider doing camps. I know, shout out to my boy Dan, he's doing a camp at Holy Names, right? Coach Eggleton at East Bay invited my guys to go to Cal State East Bay. And these coaches reach out to me because partly also, too, I'm an assistant coach at a junior college, American River Junior College. So I kind of can broker that in-between spot for a lot of different parts. Shout out to my boy Fabian. I just sent him to Lincoln University, and he got a full ride. Gary Payton will be his new head coach, so that's pretty good. I'm very proud of him. So, splash for him. But I want you guys to understand that the live period is highly important. Coaches, if your kids are 8th grade going to freshman, you will not see your kids until next year. Once high school starts, those guys will be involved in those leagues until the actual season. And unless they're playing on varsity or move up on varsity and their team goes deep into the playoffs, you essentially won't see your kids until late February to late March, which doesn't leave you a lot of time to get them prepped for the AAU live period in April. And then after that, you do April, May. They go back to the high school leagues in June, come back to you in July for the bigger live periods, hopefully getting offers, interest, and a potential college scholarship. And then they move on to their senior year. The date I always tell people to aim for, June 15th of your sophomore year. That's a big date because that's when officially Division I's and Division II's can give official offers to athletes. June 15th of your sophomore year. Freshman year, when it comes to the live period, is all about learning. Of course, you want to win. You want to get your name out there, but it's mainly about learning. See where your kid is at. See where your competition is at. Measure it to that success. And then go from there. My teams have a history of doing well, also have a history of people kind of knowing who they are. I believe in Northern California, everyone knows who YBA is. Does everyone know who I am? Maybe so, maybe not. It's not really what's important to me. The message of what AAU basketball is doing and representing is what's important. It gives kids an opportunity to be on those stages. And it's also cost efficient for the coaches so they don't have to travel all over the damn country. Also, let me be real with y'all and keep it a buck. Yeah, let me gather my thoughts. Let's keep it a buck. College coaches don't want to see you beating the hell out of your Division 5 school playing against the normal average athlete kids. They want to see, can you really be a dog and go against other dogs? Can you be in the junkyard and really show what the hell you made of? That's what most of them want to see. They want to measure you to your competition. Remember, the highest level athletes are measured in comparison to their competition. They know if you're on varsity at high school and they see the numbers, and again, unless they're astronomically high, they understand like you can play a certain level of basketball. They want to know, can you do that against talent? Because the schools in that college's conference are doing the exact same thing. Nobody's getting scrubs. Remember this, 7% of high school athletes get an opportunity to play Division I, Division II, Division III, independents. Division IV is what we call independents, NAI, and JUCO. 7% of high school athletes. And those 7% are usually the top performers of where they come from. So AAU kind of is a nice buffer to show that. The only biggest thing I can say for the live period, too, is coaches, be realistic where your team is at. Sometimes there's certain teams that just don't belong in some of these bigger major tournaments. For example, the Bigfoot tournament. There were some teams, my teams played in particular, that, you know, you look at it and it's like, they just don't belong at this level. Gauge what your kids are. Gauge what's the best fit for them. On my team, I could tell you, I maybe have one or two potential Division Ones. I have a Division I football player, but if he plays basketball, he would more than likely have to go NAIA or Division III. So that's why I'm reaching out to places like Azusa Pacific for him, because they have a football team and a basketball team. And the football team will be like, shit, I get a D1 football player just because he likes basketball. I'll take it, right? And he gets to be happy because he gets to play both sports, and the parents are happy because they don't have to pay for school. I have another kid on my team. He's a freaking genius. I've referred to him, I think, before. His name's Milo. Has a 4.2, 4.3 GPA, taking Calculus 2 right now. His dream school is Caltech. The kid is legit a Division II player, but he understands I'm a genius. My dream school is an engineering school, and it's a Division III. And Division IIIs don't give athletic scholarships. They find a way to get money, but they don't give athletic scholarships. So he understands, like, I can go Division III and be an All-American. So don't get swept up in it has to be Division I all or nothing, right? It has to be the Pac-12. Like, let that go. It's really about fit and what works for your standard. I'm sending a bunch of my kids who I think, can play at a mid-tier to high-level Division II, which is Holy Names, just because he's holding a camp there and he likes my guys and is looking at them. So please, try to keep all that in mind. Try to keep that in perspective. It's the live period is the biggest job fair and job event in the basketball world country. That's when Peach Jam's held. That's when Bigfoot's held, Cali Live, Jam on It, all these big major events. Can you say which one's the best one? Probably not. More than likely, it still stands to overall reason that the EYBL Nike event, Peach Jam, essentially, is the biggest event where all the top-tier colleges are going to be at. But it doesn't mean that your kids still don't get and deserve opportunities at some of these other events. Like Bigfoot had plenty of universities there, plenty of colleges there. Coaches, you have to understand, too, when you're doing the high school level, coaching is the easiest part of the job. You have to network. You have to be willing to talk. You have to be willing to build your rapport with strangers, which are the college coaches, because winning ain't enough to necessarily get attention. It might get you some, but it's not going to get a lot. So hopefully, this is all making sense to everybody. If it's not, I know I'm throwing a lot of things out there in this episode. It's a little longer than what I usually do for the Coaches Rise Time, but I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I do it because I think people need to hear this. I think people need to understand, what's going on out there. So with all that being said, I do hope you enjoyed listening to it. I do hope I enlighten some people out there. For those who've been supporting through the Patreon, I really, really appreciate it. They either been going through the Podbean Patreon or the Patreon. I'm going to try to get some content out there, exclusive content for those people, so you guys can check things out on my end privately. I'm not traveling as much. I'm overall back. So, I'm hoping to get Coach MJ. Shout out to him. It was his birthday. So, happy birthday, bro. And Ty, and we can get some more About That Life major episodes. If you haven't caught up, please, by all means, listen to them. Go on YouTube, subscribe, support. It really helps. One small click for you is a big deal to help me and this program go. If you enjoy the content, you want to keep more, you really like how I'm talking about the game of basketball, AAU, and giving this perspectives, please consider doing the Patreon. We could take up to $1, $5, whatever, man. It just really helps out. I hope everybody's doing well out there. COVID numbers are kind of rising, so please be careful if you haven't been vaccinated. Maybe consider it. Either way, wear your mask. Take care of your loved ones. Be aware. I do appreciate everybody who's sent positive vibes my way. I do have a 3-on-3 tournament I'm doing with my buddies. Oh yeah, I forgot to also mention what today is. Today is July 27th. Happy Tuesday for everybody. 2021. For the coaches who made it to the end of the live period, you made it. Congratulations. For the players who did it and have their bodies intact and psychologically haven't gone crazy, good job. You guys got noticed. I'm sure you did your thing. For the teams that won out there, congratulations. I know I had a few teams kick my ass, and I know I kicked a few teams' asses, but hey, you did your thing. You sacrificed your time. Parents, thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in your coaches. For the ones who hopefully were loyal and stayed with their program, because I know after one weekend, kids leave. I had one kid in particular leave my team after one weekend. It happens, right? There's no loyalty in AAU. Let's just make that clear. There's no loyalty in AAU. Parents don't care about win or losses. They only care about playing time. So with all that being said, I hope you all do well. I wish you the best. And let's play the intro music one more time, and I'm out.